Good evening, Dr. Staci here. I am so excited that you decided to join us, or maybe you're catching the replay. It is 2025. Time has flown by since we saw each other last, but I am so glad you made the decision to be here with LifeWave in 2025. We have got an incredible year lined up, all the things in store. And of course, we're going to kick off the year with the most common theme at the beginning of every single year, and that's talking about getting our body back in balance, detoxing, getting rid of some of the extra holiday fluff, all the excess, the inflammation, the stress, all the things that took place. Or maybe you didn't have any of that over the holidays. Maybe your holidays were like mine. They were super chill and laid back, some time with friends, some times with family, no overindulgence, just some good quality chill time. Maybe you had that, which is fantastic. But either way, tonight's focus is going to be on detoxification. It's always important to detox. I'm a huge proponent of detoxification. At least once a quarter, do something to help get your body into that detox state, something to support those detox pathways. And of course, this is the beginning of the first quarter, right? So what a perfect time to do this and help you kick off any goals. We don't have resolutions, but any goals that you have set for yourself, for your health, for your own personal journey, your health journey this year. For me personally, I have been doing detoxes since I was 18 years old. I had moved out already, started college, picked up a natural health magazine somewhere. I don't know if it was the grocery store, I don't know what, but I started reading about in-depth natural health and detoxification and the benefits of helping keeping our body clean on the inside, just like your car when I was 18. And so I did my first detox then. I went all in and did a 7-day water fast at age 18. I'll never forget going to the bank. I was going to college and working at the bank with a gallon jug of distilled water that I had put cayenne pepper and lemon in and drank that throughout the day, every day for 7 days. I did a lot of different detoxes over the years, of course. But we're going to really focus in tonight on talking about LifeWave's technology and how this supports your body's natural process of detoxification, why it's important, why this even matters. As I mentioned, it's like a car. You're never going to have your car for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 plus years and not change the oil. It's the same thing with you. You've got to get those fluids out, right? Get some things out that maybe don't belong there, that have gotten sludgy over the years, and replace that, right? With fresh, clean, healthy. Think of your blood, right? Your lymphatic fluid, systems that work correctly. And so we're going to talk about LifeWave. But before we do, of course, I want you to know that I am not a medical doctor. My name is Dr. Staci Howeger, and I have 2 PhDs, one in integrative medicine and one in functional medicine. So I focus in the holistic, alternative types of modalities and healing tools. Lots of tools in my toolbox over the years, of course. But I am not here to make any claims to prevent, cure, treat, or diagnose you with anything at all. We actually won't be discussing any medical diseases this evening, any diagnosis at all. The information I'm going to share is for informational purposes. Feel free to take pictures, screenshots of what you're watching tonight. I do have a PowerPoint that I'm going to share, but know that the information here is for you to take and to glean in what resonates with you. And if it serves you in your health journey, then more power to you. I'll share with you when I found out about this technology. It'll be 4 years in May that I found out about this. I immediately was yes, 100% X39. This is what this patch does. And you've got what? You have glutathione, carnosine, these other patches that were activating these very powerful peptides in the body. I was all in, all on board on day one completely. And maybe that's you, but maybe not. Maybe you're skeptical. Maybe you're like, I don't know. Someone sent me this recording, or I'm just listening in for the first time. I'm not for sure what all the hype is about. Well, I'll settle that right now. There is no hype with LifeWave. David Schmidt is the inventor of this technology. He is the owner of the company, the CEO. This is a 20-year-old company. This did not start as a let's go sell some product company. This technology was created for the Navy SEALs. This was a secret undercover black ops product that was created, and it wasn't even a product, right? It was this is patch that helped the seals to increase their energy and stamina, endurance when they're in the field, and help them come off of caffeine, amphetamines, and uppers. This was over 22 years ago. All right, maybe this is the first time you've heard of it, but thank God, word mouth, right? Word gets around. Finally, you're hearing about this. But that was created. David created this technology for them. And of course, then after 9/11 happened, he went to the USA Olympics, to Richard Quick at Stanford University, and did 2 years of clinical studies and research. And if you want to see that data in all of our clinical studies, we have over 90 clinical studies. David holds over 150 patents himself alone, and counting. Our new water machine that's coming out, I think he already has 20 patents just from that water machine so far. He's probably close to 200, who knows. He doesn't want to keep track anymore. He said anything past 135, his uncle had 135 patents. Anything past that, he's golden. So who knows how many he has. But know that this technology is proven scientifically with people, right? Double-blind, placebo-controlled studies, and also patented technology. So you're not going to find this anywhere else. You're not going to find it on the shelves at CVS or GNC or Walmart or anything like that. You're hearing about this from someone who cares about you, who thought about you and thought this might benefit you. So over the last 20 years, David has invented a dozen different patches. Each do something different in the body. They trigger a different pathway, a different peptide process in the body. And so we're not going to go into all of that tonight, like I said, but we are going to focus on the benefits of some of the patches and how they help to detoxify the body, because that's our kind of focus for the beginning of this year. And you'll be able to see, of course, how they benefit for honestly anything and everything that's going on with you. But know that we are not just focusing on X39 tonight. We're really going to take a look at some of the other patches and how they can help support the body's detoxification process. So with that, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share my PowerPoint with you all that is going to help you to see the importance of detoxification and its benefits. So, like I said, I've been doing detoxes for a very long time, all different kinds. You name it, I've probably done it. Detoxification is the body's way to get rid of toxins, harmful substances, different materials that we accumulate, internal, external, environmental. It's the way to help your organs function correctly so that you have optimal health. We tend to accumulate toxins in our body, and those increases of toxins from stress and from our food, our environment, our water, those things put our body out of balance, especially when you have nutrient deficiencies, right? Your nutrients are going down, our toxic levels going up. We find a body then that becomes out of balance. And so we're going to talk about this optimal health and how we can support the body's detoxification process. So it matters because, like I said, toxins are everywhere. You cannot avoid them. You can do your best, right, by avoiding processed foods and additives, sugars and alcohols and things like that, getting plenty of sleep, managing your stress, and having activity, right? Increasing your metabolic function, getting your body moving, right? And then, of course, if you do have toxic overload, you're probably going to be tired. Your immune system's probably going to be weak, and you'll have skin issues because, of course, the skin is your largest organ. So your body's trying to get the toxins out. And if they're not coming out through your digestive system, they're not coming out through your bowels and through your urine, they're going to come out through your skin. And then, of course, you start to develop these chronic conditions. So let's talk a little bit about some of the benefits. Energy levels increased, right? When you get rid of some of those toxins. Improved digestion, which is super important. Better out than in, you guys. I always say that, better out than in. You should be having 1 to 2 bowel movements minimum every single day. Not every week, but every day. We need to get the toxins out so your bowels can absorb the nutrients, right? Of course, increasing your immune system. If you don't have your immune system, you're not going to have much, right? And so, of course, healthier skin. You can tell by looking at someone's skin how toxic or lack thereof they are, because their skin is glowing. And so getting rid of toxins helps with that. Of course, it helps with our mental clarity, our focus, our mood. Weight And that's the big thing also. You guys, we've all been there. We've all gained weight. We've all lost weight. Every single person has. There's not a person on the planet that's been the exact same weight from day one, right? You gained weight and then you kind of plateaued and then you probably gained, you went up, college, marriage, children, births, deaths, all the things cause your weight to go up and down. But this is going to help support your metabolism and reduce the bloating. This is going to help the weight and reduce inflammation. A lot of times it may not be weight you're carrying, but you're carrying a lot of inflammation, which is going to protect your tissues and organs and balance those hormones, especially when we're looking at that endocrine system. So let's talk about LifeWave patches and how that enhances the detoxification process. So these patches complement the body's natural detox system. Your body is set up to detox automatically, right? But like I said, when we have too much toxicity, not enough nutrients, then the body's out of balance and it can't do that correctly. So this is a phototherapy technology, and we're going to get a little bit into this here in just a minute, but this is basically a non-transdermal patch. This is a wearable light technology, and this is going to support the body's systems to help with neutralizing free radicals, increasing the ATP, helping with the lymphatic system, and of course, stress reduction, which helps with our cortisol levels, and as I mentioned, skin detoxification, right? So there are a few tips to maximize your detox benefits. Number one, stay hydrated. We always recommend with our patches that you stay hydrated. And I always hear the moans and the groans, oh, I don't like water. I can't drink that much water. I don't want to drink water. I'm like, you're an adult. Like if you went to the doctor and the doctor said, here's your medication, you're going to take this 3 times a day for 10 days with food, you're going to go do it. So if I'm saying you're going to use your patches and you're going to drink half your body weight in ounces every single day with a little Celtic sea salt, that's what you're going to do, right? Because that's the prescription. So we want to make sure we're staying hydrated. Half your body weight in ounces is your goal every single day. Pure, clean, healthy water. Please note that if you're drinking herbal tea, if you're consuming celery or cucumber or melons like watermelon, cantaloupe. Obviously, those probably aren't in season in most places right now, but you can still get them. Those things are higher in water content, so they can help you out if you're not used to drinking that much water. Have some celery, have some, cucumbers, put some watermelon in your, in your smoothies or in your salads or in your water even. Do something to increase that water intake. I like lemon and lime. That's my personal choices. I buy organic limes and lemons and I squeeze that into my water, which alkalizes the water, which helps to alkalize my body. But I love Celtic sea salt. And I want to talk about this really quickly before we move on. So Celtic sea salt, it comes in a big blue bag, or you can get the real salt brand, whatever you want. But make sure it's either one of those two. They have about 92 trace minerals. This is not salt like the little girl with the umbrella on the white canister, right? This is not what I'm talking about. That level of sodium or salt is toxic, which is why your doctor says, stay away from all the sodium. Yeah, stay away from the sodium, the processed packaged foods that are full of sodium, the frozen canned foods that are full of sodium. Celtic sea salt is actually minerals. And so we need minerals, right? When I was talking about nutrient deficiency, most people are mineral deficient. And so part of the detoxification process is helping your cells to function correctly, and they need minerals to do that. So we put a little bit of Celtic sea salt in our water. We cook with it. It goes on all of our food. It has a great flavor. But if you put 1 crystal on your tongue before each glass of water, it's going to be able to help you to pull the water that you are drinking into your cells and tissues and hydrate you. So if you're like, I don't want to drink all that water, I'll be in the bathroom peeing all day long. Well, that's because your body's you're flushing out, right? It's going right through you. You're not absorbing the water that your body needs. So the Celtic sea salt helps you to absorb the water, which is very important for your detoxification process and for the benefits of your patches working the best. So of course, eating clean. I always say if you can kill it or grow it, eat it. If you can't, don't, right? I understand we probably splurged a little through the holidays, maybe, a little cake or a little cookie or a little candy, something like that. But stay away from the processed foods, right? Eat clean. Exercise. Move your body. I don't care if it's cold. I get it. It's cold. It's cold everywhere, right? It's winter. We're 55 degrees here today in Florida. We're like, what's going on? I had to put on like an extra layer on top of this shirt. So I get it. Some places are, I think Laura said it's 7 degrees where she is right now, 2 feet of snow. How do you move? Pop up your YouTube on your TV, right? I mean, you guys, you can do body weight exercises. My father-in-law is notorious for doing push-ups on the side of the kitchen counter. Like, you can move your body inside of your house, right? Go to the gym if you want to. Make sure you're getting plenty of sleep. Do you realize that if you don't sleep, your body's not healing, it's not repairing, it's not able to eliminate the waste correctly? You have got to get rid of the toxins. You've got to get that sleep, right? Silent nights if you need to get the sleep. Use your Eon at night if you need help with sleeping. Aloe Vita at night. Those 3 patches, do everything you can to get that sleep. And of course, minimize your toxic exposure, smoking, alcohol, and use clean products. So let's talk about X39 and how it supports detoxification. So X39 is our flagship patch. This is the end all be all right here, everything. Oh my gosh, this is the most amazing patch in the entire world. Why? Well, like I said, David is the inventor of this technology. He's invented a dozen different patches over the last 20 years. Took him 10 years in the lab to figure out how to elevate the master cells in your body with this patch. This is a wearable light technology. When I put this on, a wavelength of light enters my body, elevates a peptide, GHK, Cu, copper peptide, which activates my body's cells that are responsible for rejuvenating, repairing, helping the body to restore its balance, right? Organ function, very critical. The liver, the kidneys, helps replace damaged cells. It's really important for blood flow, right? Increasing that oxygen flow, which gets the nutrients to help the detoxification of the organs and speeding up that removal of the metabolic waste and harmful toxins. It's really important that you understand that the cellular energy, like I mentioned with the water and the Celtic sea salt, that cellular function, X39 is working at the mitochondrial level to increase that energy. That's why you have that feeling of energy, right? Mental energy, physical energy. And of course, it's going to help power that detox process by making sure that you're eliminating the toxins, okay? So lots of benefits from X39. This is not a one-time patch. This is not even a 1 day, 1 week, 1 month patch, right? You may be wearing this patch for a year. I personally have been wearing this patch every day for over 3.5 years now. Why? Because it's went to work to repair and regenerate whatever in my body, right? Even though I was super healthy and didn't have anything wrong with me, I know for a fact that there are things that needed to be repaired. I was 47 years old when I started patching. I'm over 50 now, and this technology has helped me to reverse that biological age in half. And so there are long-term huge benefits for staying consistent with using the X39 on a daily basis. The next patch I want to talk to you guys about is our glutathione. Now, this is the master antioxidant and detoxer. And of course, I'm not going to read everything here to you guys, but this increases your glutathione over 300%. Now, you may be using glutathione, maybe in a sublingual, maybe you get IV vitamin pushes, maybe it's a supplement that you take, but this will elevate your glutathione over 300%, where your IVs or your vitamins are going to be about a 20 to 23% increase. This is elevating your own glutathione, and it's the body's most potent antioxidant for neutralizing free radicals, toxins in the body. It is the master detoxer. It's going to help with that heavy metal detoxification, neutralizing oxidative stress, binding to these toxins, and helping to safely remove them. There is not a holistic, medical, functional, integrative doctor practitioner on the planet that's not recommending glutathione on a regular basis. They all do because it's so powerful in helping to remove toxins in the body. And so when you're looking at those things, you're thinking, oh, 20 to 30% increase, no big deal, right? Go to the bathroom a little bit more, may have a little fatigue or sluggish. So keep in mind, we're increasing glutathione, your glutathione, over 300%. I would recommend you go slow with the glutathione. Now, myself, day one, detox queen here. Slap that baby on, been wearing it every single day, never missed a day since. Why? Well, the oldest people on the planet have the highest level of glutathione, right? Because of their practices, because of their lifestyle. So their glutathione level has stayed elevated all these years and helped contribute to the increase in their immune system and their body's ability to detox. And so they are living 100, 120, 130 years old. But for those of us that still live in the world that we do, where we're exposed to these things, then of course this helps to increase that detoxification for us. So you may need to do this once or twice a week as you're getting started, or maybe every other day, right? We're all different, but just know that this is the master detoxer and antioxidant. This is in everyone's toolkit for detoxification. So let's talk about Eon. Eon is actually my second favorite patch. I'd say glutathione's probably, I don't know, it's probably tied for third with all the rest of them. But Eon is my second favorite. Eon is a patch that reduces inflammation in the body. It helps bring the nervous system into balance. This is going to protect your organs. When we look at clinical studies, we can see huge benefits in the liver and in the kidneys, your intestines. This is a huge, huge patch for keeping your nervous system in balance and keeping the inflammation down. If you have a diagnosis, you have inflammation. And Eon is going to help your body to balance out that cortisol level, which is going to help the detox pathways work correctly. So again, liver, gut, right? Keeping your body, as I mentioned earlier, use Eon at night, helps with sleep, keeps that brain focused in that deep sleep state so that brain can go through that lymphatic system, that detox of the brain every night. You need sleep for your brain to detox, and reducing inflammation can help that. Using this at night to help you get a good night's sleep can help your brain to detox. Now, I want you to also understand with Eon, when you look at the detoxification process, okay, your cells, let's just picture they look like this, even though there are trillions of them in your body, right? They're tiny, but say they look like this, right? Your cells. The toxins are stored inside of fat cells, okay? And so as your fat cells grow, there's more toxins that can build up in those cells. And those cells, especially when we look at like heavy metal toxicity, right? You know, from your amalgams, the teeth, the fillings, oh my God, your food, your personal care products, everything has heavy metals in it. And so it all gets stuck in your cells. And so being able to reduce the inflammation is going to help the body to pull the toxins out of the cells. When you have cells that are inflamed and they're full of all this stuff, it's like they're thick and sludgy and they're not communicating. And so we've got to bring the inflammation down while we're helping the body to detox. These go hand in hand. So if I were to say my top three, which is why I have them on here, the top three patches in detoxification are your X39, your Eon, and your glutathione. They all work synergistically to help at the cellular level, which of course helps your organs, right? Keeping that body in a calm, rest, relaxed state, able to digest, able to eliminate the toxicity that's in our body, okay? And I'll just kind of do a little side note. David had done some clinical studies, we'll just say 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago now. So you kind of know what that time frame was. So you can kind of make your assumption on what he was doing some studies on, what he was looking for. And when you were looking at these types of things that were happening, you know, in 2020, these were the three patches that they found to be the most beneficial when using to help the body to eliminate some pretty serious toxins that it was exposed to in 2020 and 2021. So these are your top three detox patches for sure. So let's move on and talk a little bit about Energy Enhancer. Why would Energy Enhancer be a patch that helps support the body's detoxification? How does that work? Well, as I mentioned at the beginning, David invented a patch for the Navy SEALs, and that patch was designed to help trigger beta oxidation, which turned body fat into fuel. I don't know if you all need a little extra body fat turned into fuel at the beginning of this year, but if you do, Energy Enhancer is your patch for that. And what happens is this patch burns about an extra 300 to 600 calories per day. Now you're probably thinking, well, the seals didn't have any calories to burn. Well, they actually use that for that extra fat, right? We all have fat, but they use that process, that beta oxidation process for fuel. And so that happened at the mitochondrial level. Again, this patch directly goes to the every single one of your cells, right? Not the patch, but what it does, the process it triggers in your body, it goes to every single one of your trillions of cells and increases the cell to cell communication, increases the mitochondrial function, that ATP, that energy coming out of the cells, which is then going to help that liver, right? Your kidneys, it's going to help your organs to detoxify correctly and effectively. It's going to help your body to remove the stored fat in the cells and help you with your metabolism. Okay, so that's why I said it burns an extra 300 to 600 calories a day, assisting in the breaking down of the fat deposits and releasing those stored toxins for elimination. One thing that I love about this patch is it increases your lymphatic system's function. And so when you use Energy Enhancer, it's actually a two-patch system. The white goes on the right, the tan goes on the left. And we do have instruction booklets, so you'll be able to see the different locations that you can apply the Energy Enhancer. And so when you get the patch, you can pick the location you want, whether it's on the chest or the wrist or the knee or the ankle or the top of the arm, the hand. But maybe Laura, Leah, you guys can find whoever SW is and remove them for me since they're drawing all over the screen. But the white goes on the right and the tan goes on the left. I love using the lung points right up here, okay, for increased circulation and oxygenation. I also love the points down at the ankles, on the inside of the ankles. I really feel like if you're someone that has maybe your feet swell by the end of the day, mine used to do that. My feet would my toes would get swollen. And so this is going to help turn over your lymphatic system and help get those toxins out of your body. They are eliminated through your lymphatic system. They're eliminated through your urine, of course, your breath. And so increasing that energy, increasing that ATP output is going to be very important. And again, water, right? Stay hydrated, helping to aid that lymphatic drainage. Movement is always important. We talked about physical activity and exercise at the beginning, so that's vitally important. So let's talk a little bit about carnosine. And I know there's a lot of information on here on carnosine. So carnosine is probably, I would say, right there at my third favorite patch as well too. This is kind of like a little sleeper patch. And what I mean by that is people don't realize how powerful carnosine is. Carnosine is a dipeptide. Glutathione's a tripeptide, and of course X39 elevates a tripeptide, but this is a dipeptide, meaning two, right? And this has a huge role in detoxification and cellular health. This is a powerful antioxidant. When we look at the glycation process, every time your blood sugar spikes, you age. Every time your blood sugar spikes, you age. Every cake, every cookie, every drink, every whatever it is that spikes your blood sugar, that loaf of bread, right? That pasta, you're going to age. Okay. And so carnosine is going to keep that glycation process in balance. It's going to keep that in line where it needs to be. Carnosine is, again, obviously then big for your pancreas, for organ support, helping to decrease that toxic overload in the organs, with the liver, with the kidneys, filtering out those toxins. That's what carnosine does. Carnosine, again, is a big antioxidant, right? And just like glutathione, but it works differently than glutathione. Carnosine loves to hang out around the brain, with the muscles and the organs. And so your heart, obviously being a muscle, has great benefits from the carnosine. The brain has great benefits from using carnosine. And so increasing that intracellular level of carnosine is going to be a huge defense against free radicals and toxins. All right, so maybe Leah, Laura, you guys can figure out how to stop the whiteboard component of that. I know there's a thing on there so we can get rid of these little doodads that are all over the screen. Because people can't take pictures if people are drawing on them. So carnosine is also really important when you look at being able to remove neurotoxins. Again, I mentioned the brain and brain health. When you look at brain clarity, mental clarity, reducing that brain fog, being able to help remove the toxins from the brain is going to be a big component of carnosine. You can go to PubMed and you can type in carnosine and you will find all the benefits in the brain, all the benefits in the heart, and how it helps to repair damage, chronic damage, even by toxic overload. So definitely, of course, stay hydrated and, use your patch every day. The important thing is that you guys know that each patch, again, comes with an instruction booklet. And so these are different suggested locations for our carnosine patch. Pick a spot, any spot. Pick a spot that works for you. But know that put it on and put it on daily is your key. So let me see if I can exit out here real quick. Let's see. And see if we can get that off of there. Let me stop my share and let me start it again because I'm just not liking all those lines. We'll just pick back up where we left off. There we go. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about X49 and the power of detoxification and cellular health. You wouldn't think that X49 would have anything to do with detoxification. I already mentioned X39, and of course, X39 is our flagship patch. This activates those cells that are responsible for repairing, regenerating anything and everything in your body. X49 elevates a daughter peptide. So this elevates GHK. X49 elevates AHK. AHK stands for alanine, beta, like as in beta alanine. And so we look really at the muscle and the bone and circulation, oxygenation in the cells. And so let's talk a little bit about what X49 does to be able to help reduce oxidative stress, okay? Improve blood flow, helping to bring oxygen to the tissues and to detox those organs efficiently and effectively. So being able to help reduce that toxic damage, of course, is your whole goal, and being able to support the repair of the tissues from whatever type of toxins you've been exposed to is a key role that X49 happens to benefit. And of course, when we look at our muscles and our bones and our tissues, reducing that toxic burden from them, that's a key component when we look at lactic acid and the metabolic waste post-exercise. So again, we mentioned movement. Movement is key. Some type of movement every day. I don't care if it's a 10, 20-minute walk, if you do jumping jacks or squats or lay on your floor and, do whatever, put cans over your head, something, I don't care. Do some kind of movement every day. But we've got to be able to keep that circulation going, right? Increase that circulation, impacting again at the mitochondrial function, at the mitochondrial level. So that'll help your body become resilient against this toxic accumulation when your muscles are strong, when you don't have all this buildup of waste, and of course strengthening your skeletal system. We know that X39, 49 dramatically stop bone loss and increase bone density. So huge proponent of X49 for your bones, for your muscles, for that circulation and oxygenation, and increasing that energy, again, that energy production to helping the body to be able to reduce that oxidative damage, keep you young and youthful. If your bones are strong and your muscles are strong, then your body's strong and you're going to live a long, healthy, strong life. And we want that. So let's talk a little bit about aloe vera. I love aloe vera. This is another sleeper patch that people just don't realize how powerful this patch is. But aloe vera is going to help support the natural detoxification process by helping release the toxins stored in the skin. If you remember at the beginning, I said that better out than in, right? We've got to get rid of the toxins. And if your body is not eliminating correctly through your urine and through your stool, then it will come out through your skin. So if you have skin issues, you're not effectively detoxing. You're not effectively removing the toxins in your body. And aloe vera is going to help that skin, ensure that the impurities are eliminated effectively through perspiration and cellular turnover. It's going to strengthen the skin's barrier, right? A strong skin barrier is crucial for minimizing the absorption of all these toxins, all these allergens and harmful chemicals. And it's also going to be able to help reduce oxidative stress caused by free radicals, cell damage, okay? So, which is definitely going to prevent detoxification. So the aloe vera patch is going to help mitigate oxidative damage and allow cells to regenerate and maintain their balance more effectively. So again, it looks just like this, phototherapy, non-transdermal. This elevates the peptide, the epithalamin peptide, which is in your pineal gland, which is in your brain. Totally different patch, totally different pathway. This is a nighttime patch. We use this in the evening before bedtime, leaving it on 12 hours at night. And so it's going to help elevate melatonin a little bit. It's going to help with sleep a tiny bit, but it really helps in the brain, right? You can place it on your temple if you want to. You can put it on your third eye, that center of your forehead. I put mine below my belly button, but anywhere works. But the whole point is to help get rid of the oxidative or reduce the oxidative stress and the inflammatory stress that's in the body. Okay. You can partner this with your glutathione if you want. You can use your Eon, like I said, at night. You can use your carnosine at night. It's totally up to you, but it's going to help improve your skin's hydration. It's going to help the elasticity of the skin. It's going to help a more youthful, radiant complexion. We know it increases collagen production. So powerful patch to help the body in the detoxification and balancing process. The last two I'm going to talk about briefly are SP6 and Ice Wave. Before we take some time and do some Q&A here, I'm sure you have plenty of questions over there in the chat. So SP6, what would SP6 have to do with detoxification? Well, it's going to help regulate that appetite. We know that. It's going to help your digestive tract. We know that looking at our clinical studies, SP6 has great benefits for the intestines. It's going to help reduce those cravings. And of course, that helps you to reduce the amount of processed toxic heavy metal foods that you are used to probably eating. No, not you guys. You're super healthy. But that happens sometimes, right? Where we get overwhelmed with these toxic foods. So this is going to help that support to the liver and the kidney and the organs in the detoxification process. And like I said, promotes that gut health, improving toxic elimination through our digestive system. And SP6 is a patch that we use on the spleen meridian. Again, it's going to come with an instruction booklet, and that instruction booklet is going to show you, you can see I've got a patch randomly stuck here on my instruction booklet, but it'll show you the 3 different locations that you would apply the SP6. So any one of those spots work. You can try a spot, leave it there for 7 days, try another spot, but it's definitely going to help with using the help with the gut health, right? Using those spots help with your spleen meridian. So balancing the whole endocrine system. The Ice Wave patch is kind of similar to the Energy Enhancer patch. So Ice Wave we use for pain. It does not get to the root of any problem. It's just pain on the spot. You've got pain. Let's get rid of it. Let's reduce it. Let's help that area, which we know that, of course, is inflamed. It's probably a toxic buildup there. And so it helps increase circulation, right? Helping the body remove toxins, helping the energy flow in the body, supporting muscle and joints, and helping, of course, encourage that physical activity that's going to boost your lymphatic drainage. So it works by balancing the body's energy flow. It's going to help remove and relieve that pain and inflammation, which can interfere with the detox process. Now, I want to show you Ice Wave. Ice Wave is just like Energy Enhancer in that there's 2 patches. So you would use the white on the right and the tan on the left, or you could do the clockwise method. We do have several videos that David has done, 5 to be exact, that are about 4 to 5 minutes each, where he shows you different placements of Ice Wave, where to place it on different parts of the body that are hurting to help relieve the pain. So I highly recommend you go to LifeWave Health. That is LifeWave's YouTube channel, and type in Ice Wave, or just go to YouTube and type in LifeWave Ice Wave, and you will find David doing these 5 different videos on using Ice Wave to help remove pain and inflammation and help open up those energy channels and keep the pathways moving in the body. So I recommend you check those out. Like I said, they're short, but they're very informative. So in conclusion, LifeWave patches offer you a unique, non-invasive approach to enhancing detoxification by incorporating these patches into your routine alongside your healthy lifestyle choices, you can achieve improved energy, better skin, reduced inflammation, and optimal health. So, detoxing smarter with LifeWave's technology. So, with that being said, I want to share with you guys that you do not need to use all of these patches, okay? No reason for you to use every single one of them. Now, are there some of us that use every single one of them? Yeah, we do. Right? We choose to, and we have incorporated them over time. Whenever I got started, David didn't even have X49. It wasn't even a patch yet. I think he had it invented, but it wasn't on the market yet. So we didn't even know that patch existed. So we started with X39. We started with Eon. Start with the basics. Reduce the inflammation in the body. That is key. Elevate these master cells that are responsible for repair and regeneration. Do that on a daily basis. If you want to add a third patch, go right ahead. Pick one. Which one is most important to you in your health goals? I don't recommend you go start with all of them unless you've been detoxing since you were 18 years old. If you're on your detox game, let me know who you are. I want to know where all my detox kings and queens are. If that's you and you've been doing every detox under the sun like I have, go for it. I highly recommend you do. Use all the patches you want. Your body's going to be going boom, 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 boom. Like the pinball machine, and you pull back, it's like the ball goes in there, it's bouncing all over. I feel like sometimes that's like my cells inside. They're like, yes, 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 yes. This peptide, that one, yes, let's do this. Like it's firing everywhere, right? For you, the machine may break in 2 seconds. I don't know, because I don't know what's going on inside your body. So I don't even know where that analogy came from. I have never used that analogy in my entire life. No idea. But anyway, somebody needed to hear about pinball machines. I forgot they even existed. It's been a long time since I've seen one, besides on TV. Old movies, right? So anyways, you guys, start slow. Start with X39. Start with Eon. If you want to add glutathione once or twice a week, go there. Right? If you want to add that carnosine, do that. Carnosine's different than glutathione. You can use that every single day, right? You can use glutathione daily too, but I'm slower with that. And then work your way into it. If you're like, oh, I'm going to use these during the day and I'll use aloe vera at night. Good, do that. Okay, do what's best for you. I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I didn't share all of this information with you to get overwhelmed. I shared it all with you because I wanted you to know it was available, right? I wanted you to know these patches do more than just, right? Just whatever it is you're using them for. They do a lot of things, which not on day one are you going to see all the benefits from. But maybe on day 30, you'll start to see some benefits. And maybe on day 60, you'll see some more. And maybe by day 90, you'll even see several things that have changed or improved, that you can see the improvement in your quality of life. And then what happens over time is there's a compound effect. If you're patching 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 12 months, that compound effect starts to really speed up. And so you start to see lots of things change. You'll see somebody and then you won't see them for 3 months, and you see them 3 months later. It's like, whoa, what happened to you? What changed with you, right? And it's like collagen, detoxification, clarity, right? The inflammation gone. I can't tell you how many people, from looking at my before and after picture from when Leah and I were together in California, we first met David, right? That first event in June back in 2021. And they're like, oh, you've lost so much weight since then. And I'm like, no, I actually weigh the same. Yes, I did gain some weight after I lost my daughter. I did. Those 6 months after I lost her, I did gain some weight. Of course, I've lost all of that and kept that off, of course. But I had a lot of inflammation. Even though I was that weight, I had a lot of inflammation, especially in my face. And people are like, you must have had surgery. Did you have your neck done? Did you have your eyes done? And I'm like, no, Staci's not going under the knife for anything, right? So nope, it's using the patches consistently and the healthy lifestyle choices that I've always made, but helping to reduce at the cellular level, right? Elevating those master cells. They got in there and did some more work, some deeper work than anything else I had ever done. And I thought I had done all the things, right? And so these patches work on a deep cellular level. And you may not feel that on day 1 or day 30 or day 60 or day 90. You may not feel that at 6 months in, even maybe. It may be a year before you feel something. I doubt it. I'd say probably 90% of the people feel something within the first 90 days. But healing takes time, and I want you to be patient with that process. So we do have a time for a few questions, and I know there's, I don't know, 100 and something plus comments in here. So when I want to share this with you, no diseases are we going to discuss. Okay, so I cannot make any claims, nor should anyone make any claims that these patches are going to cure or treat any disease at all. As I shared earlier, we're looking at organ function. We're looking at cellular function, how these patches can impact you at the cellular level. You weren't born with a disease. So if your body's out of balance, you've got this diagnosis, right? We know we want to get it back in balance. Can the patches bring your body back in balance from any and all of the things? Yes, they can over time if you're consistent, okay? So I want to share with you just a couple quick things here, question-wise, that I've seen kind of pop through. So how long can you wear the patches? Some people have said 24 hours. That is not correct. David Schmidt is the inventor of the technology. In 3.5+ years, I have never once, ever, never, ever in person, which I've seen him many times in person, and on every single video, because I've watched every single one of them, every one of his videos. Never does he say, put on the patches and leave them on 24 hours. Then take them off and throw them away and put on another brand new one and leave it on 24 hours. No. David has done 20 years. Doctors, scientists, researchers around the globe for 20 years have done research on this technology. It is designed to put on in the morning or put on the night if it's a nighttime patch, leave it on 12 hours, take it off, and throw it away. Get up the next morning, grab a new patch after that 12-hour break, and put on a new patch the next day. So please don't leave the patches on 24 hours. Here's what's happening. Attenuation. When you put this on, a wavelength of light that is entering your body is activating a peptide, signaling a peptide. Signal, signal, signal. Activate, activate, activate. When you take the patch off, the signal's not there. The body's like, oh, okay, now let's go to work to repair, right? Repair, 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 repair. The next day you get up, signal, signal, signal. You're activating those peptides. Then you take it off, the body gets a break. Repair, 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 repair. You cannot keep activate, 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 signal, signal, signal over and over and over again. The body's going to go, been there, done that. It's no different than a plateau. You eat the same foods over and over and over again, and all of a sudden you don't lose weight anymore. You do the same exercises over and over and over and over again, and all of a sudden you're on a plateau. They're not doing what they used to do. You have to mix it up, right? That's how our bodies work. You can't eat the same thing every day. You can't do the same exercises every day. Your body needs a challenge. It needs something different. You need to signal it and give it a break. Signal it and give it a break. Attenuation says if you keep signaling it, it's not going to respond. And you're not going to see the results. So make sure that it's 12 hours on, 12 hours off. If you're in pain, I get it. It hurts. We've all been in pain, right? We all have. Use your X39 and Eon during the day. Use your Ice Wave at night. Use your X39 and Eon and Energy Enhancer on the location of the pain during the day. Energy Enhancer triggers beta oxidation. It opens up energy channels. Take it all off. Use your Alavita, your Eon, not your Eon, but your Ice Wave at night. Use those at night. Be creative with that. If you need coverage 24 hours for pain, do that, but don't leave them on 12 hours, okay? Super important that you guys remember that. So, oh, somebody uses 5 Eon at night. Go for it, girlfriend. That's a lot of Eon. I've heard people using 2 or 3 Alavita at night, but I've never heard anybody using 5 Eon. It's not going to hurt you. You're elevating a peptide in your liver that reduces inflammation, increases your SOD. So, detox. Oh, I love to see all these detox queens and kings. That's amazing. What's the difference in Celtic sea salt and sea salt? So, there's sea salt, there's pink Himalayan sea salt, and there's Celtic sea salt. There may be some other ones out there. So we're looking at the amount of trace minerals that are in each of these salts and the amount of heavy metals or toxins that are in each of these salts. When pink Himalayan sea salt came out originally, maybe 15 plus years ago, is when I started using it. It was great. It was amazing. Tasted amazing. Had about 82 trace minerals. And then all of a sudden, you could buy it at Home Goods. You could buy it at TJ Maxx. It's shipped over from China. Do you feel like that's safe and clean and healthy? No, it's been mass produced. So we stay away from that. Celtic sea salt, it's a big blue bag. Get it at your health food store. Get it at, Amazon. You can get it at Amazon. I actually went to Amazon just yesterday to share the link with somebody and it said one left. I was like, oh, I better go back to a different. I've ordered it so many times. I think we probably have 15 bags at home. I'm like, I will never go without Celtic sea salt. And if I need it for anything, I'm going to have it. I know that sounds crazy. I use it to detox in my detox baths. Like I said, we use it for food, right? I mean, I'll give a bag to somebody. I don't care. We got to make sure we always have Celtic sea salt. Minerals are vitally important. So super important. But there are differences. So just be aware that there can be heavy metals and toxins in some of the other salts. Okay. All right. So SP6 is yes, always on the left side of the body. You can use on the spleen meridian. Some of us use it on the left side of our tummy in that tummy reduction protocol. Whoever invited you, they'll get back with you and talk to you about the price. We won't go into that. We do have wholesale pricing though, so you do have the ability to be able to get the discount. Do the patches help detox mold or just metals? And if so, suggestions on placements. So here's the thing with mold toxicity. We don't have clinical studies on mold, right? There's a lot that goes into that depending on the type of mold and what it's done in your body. If you feel like you have mold or you've been exposed to mold, please go to a doctor or a healthcare practitioner that focuses and specializes in that. My sister-in-law had mold toxicity. You've got to kill the mold. And then you've also got to correctly eliminate the mold so it doesn't cause a crazy storm inside of your body that makes things worse and kills you. So I don't want you to think that, oh, I'm going to use these patches and it's going to get rid of my mold toxicity. Please go seek medical advice for someone that actually is testing your blood, testing your body to see what type of mold you have and the best effective way to eliminate that mold. So that's really, really important. If you have other toxins, like I mentioned earlier, we all have toxins from the environment and our food and, things like that. So glutathione is going to help to grab those toxins, those free radicals, and be able to help your body to eliminate those naturally. But I don't want to say it's going to do that for mold. I'm not saying it can't help for mold, but we don't, again, have clinical studies, and that's a serious, serious thing. And unfortunately, a lot of people have mold toxicity. So seek help, okay? All right, the very first slide. Can I show the very first slide if you get time? I'm not for sure what the very first slide was. Just kind of like the introduction. I can, sure. Is there a healing in the lining of the gut patch protocol? I'm not really for sure what that question means. Is there a healing the lining of the gut patch protocol? I don't know that I don't know what you mean gut patch protocol. Eon can be used daytime or nighttime. Daytime or nighttime. Dan, I'll show that slide here in just a second, okay? I'm just going to answer a couple more questions. It's up to you. You don't use it day and night. You just pick one. I always use mine during the day. But if you have that monkey mind and you can't go to sleep, you can't relax, your nervous system won't, then you can use your Eon at night. There's nothing wrong with that. What is the difference between wearing X49 and glutathione? So X49 and glutathione are nothing alike at all. There's nothing that is similar to X49 and glutathione. X49 elevates a peptide AHK. It's responsible for helping reduce lean muscle mass, stopping that bone loss, increasing the bone density, and increasing lean muscle mass and reducing body fat. I'm just getting all that. My mind's going, what? No, those don't even compare. But it helps to increase oxygenation, circulation, its brain, its heart, nothing at all. Glutathione is your detoxer, right? That impacts your liver and your kidneys, really helping the body to eliminate those free radicals and boost your immune system. So totally different patches, okay? And let's see what else we got in here question-wise. We got a couple more minutes. What's the difference in SP6 and carnosine? Okay, so SP6 balances your endocrine system. It's responsible for increasing the production of your body's own natural hormones, right? To keep that body in balance with your pancreas and with your HP axis and your thyroid and your thymus and your adrenal glands, right? Just Google endocrine system. But SP6 really helps to curb your appetite, boost your metabolism. It's great for gut health. It's a really big patch in our gut health when we look at that. Carnosine, nothing like that at all. It's an antioxidant. Carnosine is a dipeptide. So when you use SP6, you're activating a process in the body to balance the endocrine system. When you use carnosine, you're elevating carnosine. And carnosine is in functional med, it's the #1 anti-aging medicine in functional med. And so carnosine is very powerful for the brain and for the heart and the muscles, the organs. Like I said, balancing that glycation process. Every time you increase your blood sugar, you age. Every single time. That's why you can tell people that consume a lot of sugar, they look old. Their skin looks crepey and old, and they tend to have a lot more wrinkles because they're aging because of their diet. And so carnosine does not replace that, but it helps balance that glycation process. And so it's going to help you hopefully to, make better choices with your food. All right, we have time for one more question, and then I'll share that screen real quick with you guys. Let's see here. Yeah, we talked about water. Will X39 Eon and glutathione help with lead toxicity? So we don't have any clinical studies on any specific toxins. We know as a whole that we see organ function improvement. If the organ function is improved, now I'm talking LifeWave. You can go to PubMed and type in glutathione or type in carnosine and see something very different. Very, very different, right? We know what carnosine does. We know what glutathione does. But when we look at LifeWave and our studies, we're not looking at specific types of toxins, just like I mentioned earlier with the mold. We are looking at helping to remove the toxins, whatever they may be, helping to boost the immune system, right? Helping to increase that antioxidant and improve that immune function. So it's a holistic more of approach looking at organ function, not necessarily we saw this much lead leave the body or this much, of cardamom leave the body. It's not, not looking at those heavy metals or those toxins like that. So let me screen share real quick here for you, Daniel. Where'd it go? I lost my screen. There it is. Okay. Screen share. And the first screen at the beginning was the importance of detoxification benefits. So here are the importance of it. You want to take a picture of that? And real quickly, here is why detoxification matters. If you wanted that one, I'm not for sure. And the benefits of detoxification. So, with that being said, thank you all for being on here this evening. If for some reason I didn't get one of your questions answered through that presentation, please get back with the person that invited you. They're going to be happy to have a conversation with you and talk to you a little bit more about your specific health goals. I'm sure they'll give you the health tracker so you can start rating yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 where you are in these categories and help you to be able to track your progress as you patch over the next 30, 60, 90, 120 plus days. So thank you all for being here. I hope everyone has a fantastic start to your 2025, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon on a Zoom. Have a fantastic evening, everyone.